Hiya! Looks like I got a little redesign. So welcome to the new series on my channel called Furry Things. Don't take that out of context. The series where I discuss different furry ideas and terms, whether they be popular in the furry fandom or not, and shed light on what they actually mean.
Okay, so do I actually have to worry about copying someone's title idea?
Oh.
Well, I mean, how is it compared to my series?
I wanna fursuit. I wanna fursuit.
We're all good. We don't need to worry about a damn thing. I also had this sort of idea of naming the series Furry Stuff instead, but I had some second thoughts on that one. I can't even with this title right now. I need to be euthanized. So this is Furry Things. And if you make this a hashtag, I'm gonna kill you all.
To start off this series, I'm going to be trying to discuss a term that even I have trouble understanding entirely. I just learned about the details behind it recently, so hey, if you want to understand it better, teach it. As a note on this concept and future concepts, though these terms might have multiple uses and not just the furry community, for example, this term is popular in the artist community overall, I'm mainly going to focus on the term's use in the furry context.
Cause I just can't escape it. I'm already in hell itself and I can't just fucking leave when I want. It's kinda not how hell works. I'm fucked.
The term I'll be discussing today is what I like to call yick. So the term yick is an abbreviation for the phrase your character here, which is a reference to a type of art commission that plenty of freelance artists on the interwebs do nowadays. A your character here means quite literally what its name implies. An artist creates a base image of a character of their choosing, which usually ends up being in the form of a rough sketch for show. From there, the artist chooses a pose or set of poses that are popular in the community, or really what people would want to see their characters or personas in, and proceeds to put that character into said pose. The artist then decides a price for the yick to be sold for and posts the advertisement out to their followers.
You can generally see these posted for unnecessarily high prices on Twitter, Tumblr, Fur Affinity, and DeviantArt, cause who the fuck knows what an economy is? Supply and demand? The fuck's a flowchart?
Now the process of ordering a yick is actually quite simple. When you're ordering a yick, you're ordering a character of your choosing to be put into the pose that the art in the advertisement is being portrayed in. You can go about ordering a yick from an artist in a couple of ways. Now obviously it depends on the prices and available slots that the artist has for it, but most yicks can be either straight up bought for a higher price, or you can bid on a yick in an attempt to get it at a lower price.
So in a nutshell, this is pretty much when artists figure out what eBay is. I've only used eBay for two things.
And I got neither of those things.
The only difference I see between the two is one is more of a scam than the other. I'll let you figure out which one that is.
The main issue though with yicks, as you can probably tell from the previous joke, is their high notoriety. A lot of people don't like yicks at all and think they're created just to swindle people out of money for a poorly put together art piece. But on the other hand, there are people who believe it's actually a decent method of setting up art commissions. What I would like to discuss today is if yicks are really as bad as people portray them to be. Which spoilers on this one, it depends. Now hopefully I can sway some people's opinions on what I have to say, but overall, I'm just expecting to be the next crucified piece on DeviantArt.
How are children even given access to a PC? The fuck are your parents doing?
So to start things off, personally I am biased towards yicks being a good method of commissioning artists. Of course I don't feel 100% okay with them, but at the same time, I've had a pretty great experience with one in the past, which sets my expectations high. Originally when I didn't know what the fuck a yick was, I honestly thought it was something vor related, which you know me and just... oh my god. But after learning about the process behind them and what the intent behind it is, you can definitely get some mixed messages about them. So to reiterate, I see yicks as overall a good option for those who want to commission art of their fursonas. And yes, we're going to keep this in the furry context.
Especially as someone who has probably one of the most complicated fursonas on the market.
So yeah, yicks are actually very convenient for me. Now one of the main reasons I see them as a good thing is because you're basically getting what you paid for. Yes, it is debatable on whether the quality of the art or the effort involved in the making of the yick is worth the cost.
It is also one of the downsides of yicks, since we're not all fucking oil sheiks who can throw $100 at an artist for a head tapered onto a disproportionate body and call it a day.
But in the sense of what you intended to buy, you're getting what you paid for. You paid for your persona to be drawn in this pose and you got it. Unlike other art commissions, it's more likely that some artists will screw up some things and may not get it in the exact pose or design you have specified, which is also another reason why yicks are a benefit. The details for the pose and design of your persona have already been given in the ref sheet in the yick advertisement itself. Unless you have any other specific details on what your persona has, then you're all good. The amount of information that a normal artist commissionee has to read if the commissioner wants his or her commission perfect is insane. I even worry about some of the commissions I had in the past where I was a little overly descriptive and it showed in the final product. Some details are really hard to read into when the artist is focusing on the main part of the piece, making the design of the character fit into the pose you requested. And even though it may be the artist's fault for not getting the details the way you want it, it truly is so much more convenient on both ends to use a yick if the pose is around the one you had hoped for. Now for the purpose of proving these last two reasons on why yicks are bueno, I decided to grab a slot of a yick I saw on Twitter. The artist had posted this advertisement for a summer-themed Yik and hadn't gotten many takers on the slots that were available. As is, I wanted a summer-themed Yik because life jackets are life, so I took one of the slots. At first I was a bit wary of the price for the Yik, as I normally don't pay this much for commissions, but for the negotiation side of it, the artist was understanding and listened to all the specific details I wanted with the Yik, even though there were little to none because we both knew what the pose was going to be. The only details I gave were to add in a life jacket and make the floaty a donut. That's it. A couple of days passed and I finally received this, and I honestly couldn't be happier with it. I mean, even to this day, I still love it. That life jacket looks so fucking plump, honest to God. Now with my first ever Yik, the artist nailed it. He listened to every detail I had about it, because without the posing and everything else being put into it, he could see the other half of what I asked for. But really, I got what I paid for and I'm extremely happy with the outcome. So that's all fine and dandy with how a Yik would turn out happily, but what about the bad with the Yiks? What is the one thing that's keeping me from thinking it's 100% the best thing to make my spine slide out of my anus with awe? Well, the genuine portion of a Yik. As someone who originally used commissions to make art of FURSONA even happen, I see Yiks as a method that just isn't as genuine or as appealing as a normal art commission. Now don't get me wrong, my experience with Yiks is overall great and it's the most pleasing thing when it comes to getting what you're looking for, but it just feels off to me. The idea of the main portion of the art being finished, and the actuality that I can pretty accurately picture my Sona in this pose before I even pay for the Yik unsettles me a bit.
See, commissions to me are more of a surprise factor. Similar to how you're getting surprise fan art, this is in the situation where almost 90% of the time, the commission will not fit your expectations. It will either be above your expectations or below your expectations. Regardless, you're getting that fucking surprise. Or maybe that's just me and my autistic tendencies that's thinking that.
But overall for the negatives, Yiks just don't feel natural in me. It's like that sketchy ass furry, you know. Like, you know he's on the same level as you, but you just have that feeling he might be into some deeper shit. Now if you can get past the ingenuine feeling, then you'll be fine with it. Like, dear God, I love the living hell out of the Yik that I just got. Now the other thing you may be wondering, whether commissions are better than Yiks is another story entirely, so don't even involve me in that, like, holy shit. Besides that, I got nothing else.
Before I do my usual outro, and I also have the face cam along with the life jacket on for this reason, because I want it to be as genuine as possible about it, because I actually, like, feel bad for this not happening. I want to give a big thank you and a genuine shout out to Zai. If you haven't known, he's been helping me tremendously with the editing process in my videos. Like, he's just taking the weight off my shoulders with the most boring portion of editing. Like, I will be honest about this, if it weren't for him, I would not have a video out in the past 5 weeks. He is quite literally the reason why the videos were uploaded within a week of each other. And I don't know if he's gonna help. I don't know if he's going to continue helping me with editing videos, because one, school is starting for him, and two, the reason which I feel bad is because I gave him basically a Leafy shout out. I put him in the description and that was it. A majority of my viewers did not figure out that Zai edited the video for me. So now I feel like an absolute shitbag. Please go and subscribe to Zai. Go and be active like you're active on my channel. That's all I could really ask for. He was with me even before I made the furry video. Like, he's been pretty supportive with a lot of things for me. Go and show him the love that he actually deserves. And I'm kind of disappointed that he isn't even at 300 subs right now, because that boyo deserves honestly a shit ton more. So really, he's just been an amazing friend. This is the least that I can do for him. So Zai, if you're watching this, which you probably are, it's no spoiler there, it genuinely means a lot to me.
But anyways, that about does it for what I wanted to talk about. I know I didn't really go in depth on the negative aspect of Yiks, so I'll leave it up to you guys on what you don't like about it, or if you do like it, then that's fine too. I just hope you actually enjoyed the video is all. Like, that's kind of a necessity for this channel to thrive, let alone live paycheck to paycheck. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Leave your comments about this entire thing below. I'd love to hear from you guys. And besides that, I've got nothing else. See ya.
To be quite honest though, the idea of Yik gives me a bad taste in my mouth. Yik!